Hey guys, previously I have done the video on my recommendation on which character to get, but that one is more for filling up roster, which means if you don't have the character, then you go for those that you don't have. But there are a lot of requests. A bunch of you have requested if I can do a portrait version, which means like if you have a lot of character or there are just some character that you just don't bother getting, then you want to go for portrait. Which portrait is better? So here it is. But here I want to talk about the Twins banner again. So here, if you just want to get Twin P0 and if you are very close to like 100 pulls, then you can consider getting this Selector. But usually following the previous trend, a new character come, usually P1 and P2 will give a significant improvement to how they work, including damage and their rotation. So this means that you might want, you might want to get portraits for the twin, and also by doing that you can ensure that the twin will be more relevant for a longer period of time. So to get P2 twins, the worst case is that you lose 70 and then you need another 70, which is 140 to get one copy of the twins. At 100 pulls, you can get a selector to get another portrait for the twins. So at 140, you just need to add on another 20 to get the second portrait. In that situation, you will need another 60 more to get this selector, which I do not recommend you to do that. Okay, please don't do that. So I don't think it's really worth it. So only if you're lucky, like you get up to P2, maybe by 90 pulls, 80 pulls, then you just need 10 or 20 more. Okay, or like 140, 150, then you just need 10 or 20 more to get another selector. Then yes, I would recommend you to do so. If it's more than 40, 50 pulls to get a selector, then I don't think it's worth it. So a shout out to Jelly Boy. I hope this video is up to your expectation on what you need to know. Okay, just like previously, let us start off with Spirit and Intelligence. So at number 5, just for your information, I won't do the entire, like every single character, just the one that I think is worth it to get portrait. So yeah, it will feature maybe up to 2, 3, 4, or 5 characters. So for Spirit Intelligent, I have 5 recommendation. The 5th place is Mercuria. P1 made her rotation better, and P5 she get crazy buff. But P5 is a bit hard. So perhaps if like you are at P3 or P4, very close to P5, then it's definitely worth getting Mercuria. But other than that, I think at the moment Mercuria doesn't really fit into the archetype. She is in rank up, but rank up at the moment is a little bit outdated. I still did use her to clear rate up to 10 million as a main DPS. So if you want to do that, then I guess you can do that. Getting the P1 then makes sense because it helps with the rotation. So otherwise, don't bother. And number 4 is Aleph. So yes, Blue Impromptu is also not very relevant, but still I have to mention Aleph because his P1 giving AP plus 1/2 duration is a very good thing, and he is bound to get Euphoria sometime. So if you have nothing better to get, I think it's still okay to get Aleph. At number 3 here I have is Tuesday. Tuesday P0 is fine. P2 just make her debuff stronger. So if you really are going for the poison team, like you want to main the poison team, then it's pretty much worth it to get Tuesday portrait. Right, with Willow portrait and then with Ramona, the poison team do crazy amount of damage and can clear many content. But a full P0 poison is still okay, but you might struggle a little bit, which is why getting the portrait will make them much stronger. At number 2 here I have is Corvus. Corvus P2 really make her a crazy DPS. I don't have portrait for Corvus, so I didn't plan to get it. But if you are planning to get Corvus portrait, then might as well go for her P2. Okay, she will be doing a lot of damage. And at number 1, it has to be Charon again. P1 is strong. It increased his support capabilities. Better debuff, better buff. P2 can let him out right from the start, making him more AP friendly and easier to set up. So for me, if I'm getting Spirit and Intelligence Selector, I am going for Charon. Okay, next we have here is Plan. Honestly, I don't really have much to recommend for Plan, which is why it starts at number 2, and that is NLE. So NLE's portrait will buff up Green Impromptu's damage directly. Okay, so yeah, for me, if I'm going portrait and I don't have anything better to get, I will definitely try to boost up the Green Impromptu's damage. At number 1 here I have is Willow. Again, poison is really strong, especially with all the portrait. So definitely, if you have poison team and got no portrait for Willow, then go for her portrait. Even if you have like P3, P4, you can still go for it. I went all the way to P4, I think, I keep losing to her. That's the first. And then I think I swap her out using one of the batteries. Yeah, so I have her at P4 at the moment. And she is a lot of damage. Okay, she deals a lot of damage. Coming in, the next one here is Mineral. For Mineral, at the 4th place I have here is Fatutu. And if it's me, I'm going for this one. Her P1 is a good boost in damage for extra action, but what I think is really good is P2 because P2 let her trigger her shell more frequently, which means that you get more healing and then you can even get more Moxie because every time the shell moves, there's a possibility that she get Moxie. But coming into Moxie is that I still find it sometimes that I lack like one Moxie to get her ultimate in time. So I will go for P3. My Fatutu is at P2 at the moment because P3 increased the possibility of her gaining Moxie, which then helps her rotation. So since I'm already at P2, might as well I just go for P3. At number 3 here is Semmelweis. Semmelweis P1 boosts the damage bonus based on missing HP and max up to 60%. So that's 20% more than previously. So yeah, if you want more damage for Nautica, you can go for P1 Semmelweis. And at number 2 here I have is Robuska. So P1 and P2 again is good boost of damage to Nautica. And Shadow Feast lasting 2 rounds will definitely make the rotation more flexible. Like you can use Robuska ultimate 1 round before Nautica uses her ultimate, then you can use more attacks to try to reduce Nautica HP lower, or she getting her buff back. Yeah, so it's basically making the rotation less rigid. Okay, so Robuska, I put her at number 2. And number 1 here I have is Recoleta. Okay, previous video I didn't put Recoleta higher than Robuska. That's because if you are just getting P0 Recoleta, then you'll be using her as a DPS, which coming down there is a lot of mineral DPS, so you don't really need Recoleta for that. But if you get her P1, then that's a different story because she becomes a support where she can cast multiple times the DPS ultimate, and together with J, it's crazy. And even I think someone mentioned to me that they also seen Recoleta with Ramona and they delete the boss really quickly because of all the ultimate that Recoleta helped to trigger. Okay, so yeah, P1 Recoleta to me is really good. So if you are getting Portrait for Mineral, P1 Recoleta is definitely a choice. Right, for next here we have is Star Team at number 3. So apologies, before that I didn't add He Guang in, but after several people mentioned, he should be in the banner. So yeah, so now I'm including him here. So at number 3, He Guang, because P1 He Guang give additional duration to AP plus 1, which allowed him to rotate through her ultimate without actually the AP plus 1 disappearing. So it becomes much smoother to play him. P2 is for faster setup because you straight away get to his ultimate right in round 1. I still find it a bit AP intensive in round 1 if he is not at P2 because you have to use his buff and one of his attacks so that he can ultimate in the next round. Yeah, so sometimes I have to sacrifice certain incantation because I need to set up He Guang. So if I get him P2, then that would be great. So for me, yeah, his P2 is the portrait that I'm aiming for. At number 2 here, I have is 2 Fairy. So 2 Fairy P1 make her AP plus 1 to duration. Again, this really helps in rotation, so it will overall benefit Paper Heron's Green Impromptu team. And that team is really strong, so might as well get more Portrait to make them even stronger. At position number 1 is again Flutterpig. She is crazy. And her P1 is something that you really want to get. Also AP plus 1 to duration, but with more AP means more attack, then you can get more gust stack. Okay, so yeah, I really recommend if you do not have P1 Flutterpig yet, definitely this is the portrait that you have to go for. Okay, and the last here is Beast. Lopera Euphoria is coming. Definitely, it will boost up the Igor's ultimate team. And Igor P1 will make him able to ultimate every round easily, okay? I'm not saying that P0 you cannot. With Moldier and Lopera, you technically can. But still, with P1, it's easier to get Moxie. And also, to me, it's quite an advantage to have it. Number 4 here is Moldier, again because of AP plus 1 becoming 2 duration, and since she's a support, so having that AP plus 1 definitely helps in a lot of different ultimate team. Okay, so Moldier is at number 4. Number 3 here I have is Broom. Broom P1 makes her hit much harder, and P2 allowed her to have better buff. So yeah, pretty good portrait to have if you are using Broom as your main DPS. So you should consider getting Broom's portrait. At number 2 here I have is Marsha. And P1 Marsha increased the burn limit, which helped Lingering Glow to trigger more follow-up attack and do more damage. Also better buff. P2 is also not too bad. Yeah, so Marsha, you can get her P1, which is quite easy to get, right? But at number 1, I have here is J. Initially, I put J at number 2 because if you really want to make him good, you need to get up all the way to P3. So I'm like, if you need to get P3, it's kind of hard to achieve. Then might as well you get Marsha, which is easily you can get P1 and she's already better. So initially I put Marsha at number 1 and I put J at number 2. But looking at it back, that Trebles, he will be available in Treble shop, so you can get 1 or 2 copy there. He is also coming in the battery, the camera, so you can select him there. So if you select 1 there, you buy 1 from Treble shop, then you just get 1 more and he's already P3. So add up, I push him to number 1 spot, which is, you know, at this point you can get him P1. Then by the time he got his Euphoria, you can get P2 and P3. Okay, yeah, and the difference is really huge because of the burn stack that he have at P3 is making his sustain better, damage bonus better, and damage also better. So yeah, a very good P3 to have, but again, a bit far to get. If you don't plan to get him using the treble or camera, then I think P1 Marsha will be better. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.